Good evening and welcome to high school basketball coverage here. The St. Thomas Aquinas Lady Falcons district champs with a perfect district record, opening up the state playoffs in Class 2A against Lake Providence. Coach John White's ball club looking for another state championship as the Lady Falcons enter the Class 2A postseason as the number 2 seed. They were 17-1 this season against Class 2A schools. Their lone loss, the number 1 seed team and the number 1 ranked team in Class 2A, the U-High Lady Cubs. Coming up later in the broadcast, we will speak with Coach John White after tonight's ball game between he and Lake Providence. Also, we'll have our starting lineups and all of our wonderful sponsors who were able to make this broadcast possible. And don't forget, coming up later this week, we'll also have the St. Thomas Aquinas Falcons taking on Doyle in boys high school basketball. Just so happened Butch Lee and I, the schedule worked. Butch had some free time. I wound up being off work. And here we are together again covering high school basketball. We'll take a timeout, a word from our great sponsors to help bring you tonight's broadcast and get a look at tonight's starting lineup and the St. Thomas Aquinas Lady Falcon 2012-13 high school basketball roster. I'm Deke Bellevue along with Butch Lee. It's high school basketball here with St. Thomas Aquinas. And welcome back. Coverage of the Class 2A state playoffs here from the St. Thomas Aquinas Falcons High School Gymnasium as the Lady Falcons, the number 2 seed, with an impressive 25-5 record, entertaining Lake Providence in the first round. Let's take a look. Butch Lee is going to throw up on the screen tonight's roster for the Lady Falcons and their starting 5. As you can see, an impressive roster for Coach John White, who won the state championship a few years back, looking to get another state crown here in the Falcon Gymnasium. St. Thomas Aquinas comes into tonight's game against Lake Providence with a 25-5 record. Now, the 25 wins are very impressive, but maybe the teams they lost to, those 5 losses, are as equally as impressive. St. Thomas, their 5 losses came to the number 1 ranked team in Class 5A in Southwood. Another one of their 5 losses came to the number 2 ranked team in Class 5A in Natchitoches Central. St. Thomas Aquinas also fell to the number 2 ranked team in Class 4A in St. Michael, the Lady Warriors. Albany, the number 1 ranked team in Class 3A, also defeated St. Thomas Aquinas, the Lady Falcons, in a very good ball game by 1 point, 69-68. And the number 1 ranked team in Class 2A is the U-High Lady Cubs in a thriller. And many people feel that these two teams, U-High and St. Thomas Aquinas, are destined to play for yet another state championship. Some notable wins that St. Thomas had this season. They beat 4th-ranked West Monroe of Class 5A 67-60. St. Thomas Aquinas also beat 5th-ranked Evangel of Class 2A and 8th-ranked Mandeville in Class 5A. Now we look at tonight's starting lineups. As you see on the screen with the roster, the S on the side of the name indicates that it's a starter, a 5'9" senior at guard, averaging 19 points per game, number 1, Amber Donez. Also, a 5'4" senior at guard, averaging 6 points a game, very impressive on both ends of the floor, senior number 10, Meg Gamble. A senior forward, averaging 10 points a game at 5'8", number 15, Allie Seal. At the other guard, averaging 16 points a game, one of the top players in this area, 5'8" senior, number 21, Carly Keller. And rounding out the St. Thomas Aquinas Lady Falcon starting 5, a 5'8" senior forward, averaging 8 points per ball game, number 41, Addie Schaefer. Head coach is John White, assistant coach is Melanie Kramer, and principal at St. Thomas Aquinas High School, Jose Becerra. Along with Butch Lee, I'm Deke Bellevue. It's high school basketball, the 2A playoffs beginning right here. Up next, it's the tip-off between St. Thomas Aquinas and Lake Providence. And we are moments away. Tonight's tip-off is brought to you by PJ's Coffee, with 3 locations in the Hammond area: Thomas Street, University Avenue, and North Oaks Hospital. All coffees are made fresh and come on in more than just coffee. We got lattes, also sandwiches, mini muffins, petit fours, and cake balls. That's PJ's Coffee. And the tip Here come the Lady Falcons donning their all-white home uniforms trimmed in maroon. As number 1, Amber Donez, the guard, going to the rack and scores! The 5'9" senior guard, averaging 19 points a game, one of the top players in this region and in Class 2A, making her presence felt right off the bat. And what's key for Coach John White's ball club is, as he told me, Deke, we like to press when other teams come off the bus. So we'll see if Lake Providence is able to handle the press. Providence coming in from North Louisiana, a long bus trip here this afternoon. Nice tip in the rebound on the run. Here come the Falcons down and coast to coast. Number 21, Carly Keller. A quick 4-0 lead for the Lady Falcons, just underway here. High school basketball. Now tomorrow, or on the next broadcast, we'll have St. Thomas Aquinas men's basketball as they take on Doyle in the bi-district round of the playoffs. You need to win 3 games, then you get to the semifinals. And many feel that St. Thomas and University High School are on a collision course to play for the 2A state championship once again. Traveling called on Lake Providence, so St. Thomas Aquinas already forcing 1 turnover in this ball game, up 5-0. It'll be early on to see how, if Lake Providence can hang and handle the pressure. And Addie Schaefer stepping on the chalk or the paint, out of bounds, ball turns over, unforced turnover, going to Lake Providence. Nice pressure there, Meg Gamble picking up the point. Now here's another steal. Passing over in the lane, the scoop is up and good. 21, Carly Keller got the nice assist by Amber Donez. And there's a timeout, a quick TO by Coach Theodore Lane. 7:05 left to play, opening a period. It's St. Thomas 7 and Lake Providence 0. We'd like to thank tonight's sponsors of the ball game: Richard McShann, attorney at law. Also, Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff Daniel Edwards, Dr. Michael Fagioni, Florida Parish's bank, with locations all over Tangipahoa Parish, the bank of the Big Chief, I might add, Butch Lee. All I got to do is work on more depositing and withdrawals, and I'll be all right. 7:05 left to play. St. Thomas out to a 7-0 lead. Here comes the press again. They've already forced 3 turnovers and capitalized on 2 of them. Lake Providence desperately needing a bucket here, down 7-0. Nice pressure on the other side by Donez. Should be called for being a little bit aggressive right there. But she did have the offensive player frozen. And that's the type of offense that Coach John White likes. Defense. And basically his defense turns into offense quickly. We've already seen 3 turnovers cashed in for STA. Little pressure here, and to my knowledge, viewers, I don't think Lake Providence has only had 1 shot attempt. Another layup goes down, good. And that is Allie Seal, the 5'8" senior forward. It is now 9-0 in favor of St. Thomas. Another steal, Seal gives it out to Donez. Donez working the floor, unselfishly gives it up. Here's a shot, off the rim, iron unkind. And that is the first miss of the game for St. Thomas. 9-0, approaching the 6-minute mark. There's another steal. This is the 5th turnover in the first quarter already. There's a shot. Donez gets it in good from Schaefer. And this one is getting ugly already. 11-0 in favor of the Lady Falcons. 5:50 left. Here's another steal. Lake Providence trying to get it back. Now the official is going to say jump ball, and Lake Providence does get the ball back. Good hustle right there by Meg Gamble, the 5'4" senior. I told Butch Lee we'd have to have a double printout of this roster tonight, because as you're doing a little research on these ball clubs, this one looks like St. Thomas is going to have a lot of their players see a lot of minutes tonight in this game. Comfortably up 11-0 here early on in the first few stages of the game. Nice takeaway right there. Now down there is going to the hoop. Up off the glass, no good. 21 will be called with a foul after making the steal. That's Carly Keller. She has 2 steals already in this first quarter. So thus far in this ball game, the makeup of what we have seen is basically the only team to stop St. Thomas has been themselves, missing 2 shots, but still up 11-0. Here's a steal. Coach White doesn't like that, as they had the nice steal there, but threw the ball back away, an unforced turnover. Donez with a nice body right there, going up, and will be called with a double dribble. So St. Thomas is still up, but could really be up 20-0 right now, as they have had 3 opportunities on this side after creating turnovers, but unable to cash in. Here's a long ball, the best opportunity Lake Providence has to score, and they do get on the bucket. So it's 11-2 with 5:12 left to play in this contest. Here's a 3 ball from the corner by number 10. Good! A 5'4" senior, Meg Gamble. Already half of what she is averaging on the season is Gamble, the 5'4" senior guard, averages 6 points a game, coming in with a 3 ball. Substitution, the first one of the game for Coach John White and the Falcons, and that's number 3, Courtney Dawsey, a 5'2" freshman guard. And you don't have to know much about these teams, or any team for the matter of fact, to understand when you see a freshman that checks in at this early stage in the ball game, the young lady is a pretty good ball player. Shot no good. And now there's going to be a contact called on Lake Providence. That'll be a foul. He'll inbound from the backside, and St. Thomas gets possession up by 12, 14-2, with 4:50 remaining in the contest. So Donez, Gamble, Seal, Keller, and now Dawsey on the floor. There's Schaefer with the basketball, throwing it over there, spotting up for the 3 ball. Off the mark, no good. Ball is tipped up high. There's a loose scramble for it, and Lake Providence stepped on the paint. Nice hustle there, but St. Thomas regains possession. The winner of this contest will move on to play the winner of number 15, Homer, and number 18, Pine. St. Thomas would be at home against Homer later this week if they win, and if Pine wins, not too far of a road trip, St. Thomas would have to travel to Washington Parish to take on the Pine Lady Raiders. Ball off the mark, no good. Substitution now for Coach White. Number 11, Jada Richard, coming in. So now with the seniors starting, you're seeing some youth on the floor for St. Thomas. And Dawsey, the freshman, and Jada Richard, the sophomore. Here's a tip and a steal. Off the mark, no good. That's 15. Battling, trying to get her own shot, and does, but no good. Allie Seal. And Lake Providence basically has been the benefactor early on in this ball game of some missed opportunities from St. Thomas. Willis with the shot for Lake Providence. They cut the lead to 10, 14-4, with the Lady Falcons on top. Lake Providence now playing with a little urgency, down by 10. This is the best they've played in a spurt in this contest. Shot is off the mark, no good, but it looks like number 11, Jada Richard, will be called with a foul. 3:38 left to play in the first, 14-4, St. Thomas on top. Also bringing you tonight's ball game, State Representative John Bell Edwards, representing District 72, the 72nd District in the state of Louisiana. Finest impression, CI Sports. Proudly bringing you St. Thomas Aquinas Lady Falcon basketball. Also, the Tobler Company, Tangipahoa Parish Assessor Junior Matthew, and Spoga Fitness. If you want to get in shape, call Mr. Jeff Day and his staff at Spoga. He's getting a plan ready for me. So, Lake Providence has made this a little interesting. Once down 12-0, they've now outscored the Falcons 6-2 in the last few moments to cut the lead to 14-6. Walk, traveling call. And in high school basketball, and more often than not in college, you'll see that call. You cannot do the fake step. You're going to have to put the ball on the floor in order for not to call the travel. St. Thomas has uncharacteristically turned the ball over more than not in this first quarter, which has led to Lake Providence hanging around 14-6. It is the first quarter, there's a lot of time left, but St. Thomas really had an opportunity to make a much deeper hole for their opponent. Nice hustle right there. Ball off the hands of 40 for Lake Providence. So St. Thomas now with the basketball, trying to push their cushion out more, up by 8, 14-6. Nice spin around in the lane. Good job that time. Courtney Dawsey, very impressive. This stage of the season, basically a freshman is a sophomore, but a nice job there. A lot of poise, very smooth. The 5'2" freshman guard averaging 4 points a game with a bucket right there, pushing the St. Thomas lead to 16-6, 2:58 remaining in the first. Number 4, Portia Walker, the junior guard, 5'3" in the ball game. Lake Providence in all blue, trimmed in white. St. Thomas in their home uniforms, white trimmed in maroon. Nice bucket that time. Credit Lake Providence for hanging in this ball game. Going to the rack one more time. That's a nice shot. And we are seeing a nice performance by perhaps one of the best young players in this area, in Courtney Dawsey. She's had back-to-back buckets for STA. 18-8 for the Lady Falcons. Got aggressive right there, but Coach White will live with that hustle any day of the week. 2:29 remaining. St. Thomas up 10, 18-8. First round matchup. Top 5 seeds in Class 2A. University High at 1, St. Thomas 2, Pickering 3, John Curtis 4, and Evangel at 5. St. Thomas did defeat Evangel earlier in this season. 18-10. Nice going to the rack that time, and that is Jada Reshaw, the sophomore, using the bank open after hours. 20-10, St. Thomas on top. Nice job right there. Portia Walker getting to the open court to 41, but she steps out of bounds. And Shaver had the ball turned over. So 2 more substitutions now in for St. Thomas. Number 10, Meg Campbell, the senior, checking in, and also Seal, Allie Seal, number 15. St. Thomas's pressure is something that they thrive on. If you can't inbound it, you are in serious trouble. As Coach White said, they love to press. Usually plays 8 to 10 players by the end of the first half, and he's well on that mark, as we've seen 8 players already in this ball game with the 5 starters to start tonight's contest, being Donez, Gamble, Seal, Keller, and Schaefer. And also we've seen Dawsey, Walker, and Richard come into the contest. Bucket is good, 21-10, Falcons on top. 1:45 remaining in this opening stanza. Another turnover forced by St. Thomas. Nice job by Dawsey. Oh, man. She has 6 points in this contest, and I haven't watched girls basketball in the area all season long, and I can tell you that's very impressive by that young lady, a freshman. 6 points off the bench early in this contest for St. Thomas, who leads 23-10. Nice job down low, guarding that boxed area, number 11, Jada Reshaw, the sophomore. Coach John White working the near side, yelling out instructions to his Lady Falcons, trying to get a defensive stop right here, protecting a 13-point lead. So Hawkins with a nice shot right there to cut into that St. Thomas lead. Here's a 3-ball. Good! 21, Carly Keller from way downtown, 26-12. The Lady Falcons on top. Substitution, number 4, Portia Walker, and also number 41, Addie Schaefer, checks back in as Reshaw gets a breather, playing nice post defense there. 1 minute remaining in this first period. Oh, ball's thrown just a little too high. And nice rebound defense that time by Dawsey. And that is going to be in the, let's see, did he say in the act of shooting? Yes, he did. So it's going to be a 2-shot foul attempt. So on the floor for St. Thomas is Meg Gamble. Also, we see Portia Walker, Allie Seal, Courtney Dawsey, and Addie Schaefer. Now 21 checks back in for the Lady Falcons. And that is going to be Carly Keller. Shot off the mark, no good. Loose ball scramble on the floor, still loose. the Lady Falcons recover. Under a minute remaining. St. Thomas up 14, 26 to 12. Now number 11 checking back in, Jada Richard. So multiple substitutions for Coach White. And you can see the strength of this ball club is that he likes to keep his team fresh and rotates, which we've seen now, 8 players in this first quarter of the ball game. Nice job that time. Here's the rebound. The number 10 going to the rack. Good defense that time as Gamble tried to go to the rack. And Lake Providence, credit them. Coach Theodore Lane's ball club was down 12-0 in this ball game, but they've hung around, down 14, 26 to 12 with 33 ticks remaining. Here's the inbound pass. Here's a 3 ball from the corner, and that one is good. And that's number 21 from way downtown, Carly Keller with the money ball. 16, 17-point lead for the Lady Falcons, their largest of this ball game. There's another turnover forced by St. Thomas. Working their way down the field. 3 ball from the corner, spotted up, off the mark and no good. Rebound out to 41. Her shot's off the mark, no good. Loose ball scramble. There's a hustle. I'm going to say she stepped on the line. So it will be Lake Providence basketball, and credit Addie Schaefer with a nice hustle there. 5 ticks remaining in this first quarter. It has been dominated by St. Thomas, and they could be up by much more than the 17 points they're already up. Here's a heave. It's no good. At the end of the first, it's St. Thomas 29, Lake Providence 12. Class 2A, St. Thomas Aquinas Lady Basketball continues. Start of the second quarter, and the second quarter is brought to you by H. Rocker Electric. It's a family business serving the Gulf South area since 1946 as a commercial, industrial, and oil and gas electrical contractor. The Rocker family is proud to support St. Thomas Aquinas basketball. Thanks so much to Rocker Electric, Mr. Mike Rocker and company, and all of tonight's sponsors for helping us bring you St. Thomas Aquinas Lady Falcon basketball. St. Thomas up 17 points, 29 to 12. Winner advances to the regional round in the postseason. Nice job that time by number 21, Carly Keller. We had a 3 ball at the waning moments of the first to extend the lead. Nice job this time. Here comes Donnie. As Donnie's with the rack, she was hacked. Late whistle, and now she will go to the rack. Go to the foul line to shoot 2. Leading scorer on this St. Thomas Aquinas team that tasted defeat 5 times this season, but the 5 losses, very impressive. The top teams in the state of Louisiana are the only teams this club has lost to. They also beat the likes of Powers West Monroe, Mandeville, and Evangel. And many feel when you look at the seeds that U-High, the number 1 seed, and St. Thomas Aquinas are on a course to play each other for the 2A state championship game in early March. Both shots are good. The largest lead of the ball game now for the Lady Falcons, which stands at 21. They lead 33 to 12. Butch Lee does nod his head at me and lets me know that my addition is correct. Like in football, I just added 3 touchdowns to the Lake Providence deficit, and that's how I came up with the 21, Butch Lee. 7:26 left here in the first half. In the second half, principal at St. Thomas Aquinas, Jose Becerra, will join us to let us know all the ongoings and a lot of activity happening here. Oh, the lane was open. And number 15, Allie Seal, to the rack for the score, 35 to 12. And this one is ugly. St. Thomas again, it's got to be double digits. They forcing turnovers, 3 ball off the mark. They're going to call over the back on number 3, Courtney Dawson. And I can understand that from a position standpoint, but she did jump straight up in the air. and didn't land. But in high school basketball, you're going to see that call more times than not. I really don't have a problem with it. And Madonna is checking back in for the Lady Falcons, who have played 9 different players I've counted thus far in this first quarter, and now 1 minute and 2 seconds into the second. So Lake Providence at the free throw line at the 1-and-1 here, down 23 points, 35-12. Shots off the mark, no good. That could have been called an over the back. Now there's a hustle inside the paint. St. Thomas comes up with it. Donez on the move. Will she go coast to coast? Unselfishly giving it up to number 15. Off the board is Allie Seal with a score, 37-12. And if I was a player that didn't get many minutes, right now I'd probably be on the bench stretching my calves out a little bit because the bench will be cleared tonight. 37-12, St. Thomas up. They've committed 8 team fouls, whereas Lake Providence has committed 5 team fouls. Also, we'd like to thank On the Run, all of Mr. Johnny Malazzo's staff. Earn fuel discounts when you shop at On the Run, located at 46115 North Morrison. Also 1910 South Morrison, 213 East Morrison, 3175 Highway 190 West. With a Lanyard Rewards loyalty card, you can earn 2 cents per gallon when you purchase certain products inside, and up to 5 cents per gallon for every $20 spent. Your rewards card can be redeemed at the pump immediately. Stop by one of our great locations. Return and earn with your Lanyard Rewards card today. Some restrictions apply. Check with your local store for details. 6:34 left in this first half. St. Thomas up comfortably 37-12 over Lake Providence, who made a long call to get here. About a 4-hour trip from Carroll Parish. That's, as Butch Lee informed me, east of Monroe. Donez with the basketball, didn't like what she saw, so she comes back out. But now she finds something that she sees wide open. Christmas just passed. It came again early with the form of a wide open number 15, Allie Seal. She knows what to do with it. With the bank shot, good. And the layup puts St. Thomas up 27 points. 6:02 left to play in this first half. So now Lake Providence with a loose ball will have a chance to inbound on their end of the floor. They do. Shots up, off the mark, and no good. Here's another shot, and it's good. Here come the Lady Falcons quickly back down. Oh, nice give and go right there. Donez with the shot, creates her own rebound and gets it good. Up and up. Off the glass, 41-14. Well, St. Thomas, at the rate this is going, should be able to rest some of their frontline players, give some youngsters some valuable minutes, and get ready for the second round. That begins Thursday night. Donez on the move now, just coming off a layup basket. Flips it out, number 21, spots up for the 3-ball. Off the mark and no good. The attempt there by Carly Keller, who has drained a few earlier. So a loose ball foul called on number 41, Addie Schaefer. That's her first foul, the team's 9th foul. 5:20 left to play in this half. St. Thomas up comfortably 41-14. Also, we'd like to thank Bill Hood Ford in Hammond, Mr. Bubba Lauderdale and all his staff. Everything automotive under one hood. Richard McShann, attorney at law. Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff Daniel Edwards. Florida Parish Bank. Dr. Michael Fagioni, and the Tobler Company. One and one. The attempt is good. 5:20 left. St. Thomas 41-15. Now look at our sponsors, Butch Lee. We're good to go. We can get gas. We can do banking. We can get automobiles. We can get our eyes checked. We can get clothes. We got the law on our side. And we can get some coffee. Man. We get a grocery store, Butch Lee. We got it made. 41-16, St. Thomas, the Lady Falcons on top. Trying to add another banner here. This great tradition, this basketball program has become one of the elite in the state of Louisiana. 3-ball. Kind of pinballs off the top, no good. And Lake Providence with the rebound, down 41-16, under 5 left to play in this first half. Halftime, we'll have the stats for you. and get you caught up on the STA news here. Nice give and back. Boy, Dinez unselfishly right there. 21, Carly Kellen, the seniors, seeing that chemistry out on the court, that trust, that ball movement, unselfishness. That's team sports. This isn't golf. It's basketball. And there's a shot. And Hawkins, the leading scorer for Lake Providence, I believe, with 6 now, as they cut into the lead 43-18. Going to the rack that time, Coach White wanted a foul, and justifiable there. Taking some contact was Carly Keller, but to no avail of the official. Traveling called on Lake Providence. 4:08 left. So now checking into the ball game for the first time tonight is Reagan Bolton, a 5'5" freshman guard. So this is the second freshman player we've seen taking action for the Lady Falcons. Nice give right there, and the bucket is good. And one. Portia Walker, 5'3", junior guard. Says count them. Now she has a chance to complete the three-point play the old-fashioned way, earning it. Taking a hit, making it off the glass, and putting the Lady Falcons up even more comfortably at 45-18. You know, there's nothing like high school basketball. Being in the gymnasium, the noise is there, the ambiance, the cheering, and, of course, the smell of hot buttered popcorn. Like a log fire in the winter. Shot is good. So Portia Walker with a nice job completing that three-point play. Lady Falcons up 46-18. Nearly pushing this thing to 30. Nice job that time in the steal. Out to Dinez, who's got it up. She'll shoot the ball, and it's no good, but she is fouled in the process. So the senior leading scorer for the Lady Falcons, arguably the best player in this district, certainly one of the best in the district this season, averaging 19 points a game, trying to cap off a great career here for the Lady Falcons and Coach John White with a state championship for this Lady Falcon group, who tasted the state championship glory a few seasons back and trying to get another one. Year in and year out now, St. Thomas has become a title-challenging team on the men's side and the ladies' side. They've done a great job of building these programs up, not only building them up, but maintaining them. Buckets are good. Now St. Thomas enjoying their largest lead of the contest, up 30, 48-18. 3:37 left to play in this first half. Also, I'd like to thank Ross Downing Chevrolet, Mr. Dudley Downing, and all the fine folks at Ross Downing Chevrolet. And both of Mr. Dudley's children come to St. Thomas and have had great careers here, proudly supporting STA athletics. Now 50-18, the Lady Falcons on top. And that shot is off the mark, no good, and out of bounds over to the Lady Falcons. And let me tell you, when you get into the second and third rounds of basketball on this side of the bracket, you're seeing probably the highest seed St. Thomas would face. They're on the side with the 3 seed, that is Pickering. They have North Caddo that's on this side, the 7-seed, 10-seeded Riverside that Coach White knows an awful lot about. Coaching football there under former great coach Mickey Roussel. You see some very good basketball, some intense basketball. And this is a St. Thomas program that can compete with anyone in this state. And they have. Allie Seal with a bucket, 52-18. Now over and back, and St. Thomas gets a free one here. Unforced turnover for the Lady Falcons. And when you're playing the likes of the number 1 team in Class 5A in Southwood, the number 2 team in Class 5A in Natchitoches Central, the number 2 team in 4A, the number 1 team in 3A, the number 1 team in 2A, that's a stout schedule. It's basically high risk, high reward, but the reward is you've battle tested for your district, in which St. Thomas was a perfect 14-0, and you're playoff ready. And that's what this club is, and they've been for an awful long time. A lot of excitement here at St. Thomas about the football program. With a very good freshman class, they challenged Springfield for the district championship this year, and Coach White looking for another good season in 2013. Nice job that time by Allie Seal, who's been beat up a little bit in this second half, taking some physical shots, but maintaining her poise and composure in the lane and earning a trip to the free throw line with 2 shots here. Money on the first one, 53-18. .238 left in this half. St. Thomas well on their way to their 26th victory of the season. Second shot is good for number 15, Allie Seal, a 5'8" senior forward averaging 10 points a game, has that mark already. Near steal there that time. And loose ball, and Blue is going to maintain it. Now back in the ball game again is Reagan Bolton, and number 21, Carly Keller, the senior, will get a breather. Nice job that time getting in position. That is Seal. Seal gives it up to Bolton. Bolton dribbles in, doesn't like it. Cautiously gives it back up. Here's Seal. Seal with the fake. Now back over to Schaefer. Schaefer dribbling, eating some clock here. Taking their time in no rush. In total control in this ball game, up 54-18. Now over to Jada Richard. Richard finds a little opening, and she knows what to do with it. Going to the rack for the score. 56-18. Lady Falcons up 28. There's a hustle and a move, and a nice job there kicking it in. There's a scramble for it, but Lake Providence able to give it. Give kudos there to Meg Gamble, playing that one all the way out. Now the offensive player is frozen. Now Gamble's got this one. Should go all the way to the rack. Up and one and good. And she'll go to the line. And you know, you got to have a good frame of mind. It's almost like that football mentality to know in basketball, you see someone coming, you know there's going to be a certain amount of contact. How much you don't know. But you have to go, focus, concentrate, and follow through. And that's exactly what Meg Gamble did right there. Top 2 teams in this area this season without question, Albany and St. Thomas Aquinas. Off the mark, no good. And a jump ball that time. Good job coming off was Jada Richard. Looked like she lost position, but was able to athletically weave her way in there and get a handle on it. It was called jump ball, and Lake Providence does come up with it. Still holding pat with that 30-point lead of the Lady Falcons. Dr. Chasson has the experience and knowledge to handle all of your orthopedic sports medicine problems. Just like scoring in basketball, it's important to have options. So when it comes to orthopedics and sports medicine, the best option is Dr. Brett Chasson and Cypress Point Surgical Hospital. And you know, he's the only orthopedic surgeon with privileges at Cypress Point and all other hospitals in the area. A name you can trust when dealing with orthopedics and sports medicine. So keep your options open. Dr. Chasson and Cypress Point Surgical Hospital, a great team. 55 ticks remaining in this half, 58-18. So Butch Lee, that is a 40-point lead. Right? Yes, Butch, I'm doing good. That is the 10th team foul called on the visitors, Lake Providence. So now St. Thomas in the bonus. St. Thomas has committed 9 team fouls. 60-18. Under a minute remaining in this first half. We'll have the halftime stats for you. I'll be interested to see the turnovers that have been forced by St. Thomas. Nice job that time by the sophomore Reagan Bolton to the rack. Just off the mark, no good. Able to find it on the far side. Gives it up to Jada Richard. Reagan Bolton, the freshman. Nice job that time by number 15, Allie Seal. And this when you think that the cupboard may be bare with these seniors on this ball club. 2 freshmen really making their presence felt in this contest thus far. Reagan Bolton, and very impressed with Courtney Dawsey. Let me tell you, when you're in athletics and you have a freshman player playing any point at the varsity level, that is very impressive. But to be playing in the early stages of a contest, that's impressive. That's a good job by those young ladies and a good job by Coach John White to develop them, which he has done a very good job. Coach White and certainly Coach Adams over at Albany do get the maximum potential out of their players. That's got to be traveling. Canes take 6 steps. So 13 and a half ticks left, 62-18. The Lady Falcons up 44 points. Reagan Bolton dribbles. Was over to Allie Belaires, who we've also seen another freshman. So we've seen 3 freshmen in this ball game already, 3 of the 4 that are on this roster. And I'm sure by night's end, St. Thomas will clear the bench. And that is the end of the first half. With one half completed, it's all Lady Falcons. STA 62, Lake Providence 18. We'll be back with the second half here. Along with Butch Lee, I'm Deke Bellavia, St. Thomas Aquinas Lady Falcon High School Playoff Basketball. And start of the second half is brought to you by Spoga Fitness here in Hammond. Over 20 years of training experience, Mr. Day and all of his great staff. It's a lifestyle change. If you're in it for the long haul, they can sit down with you, incorporate a great plan, and make sure you're on your way to the road of a happy, healthy life. That's Spoga Fitness in Hammond. Start of the second half, 64-18. The Lady Falcons up on top. Our pleasure now to welcome in Principal Jose Becerra and Principal Becerra. Nice crowd here tonight and a good start for this Lady Falcon Ball Club. And Coach White pressing like he normally does, and very impressive start to this game for your ball club.
They look great. The young ladies have really had a great run in district, undefeated, and really they've lost 5 games, but they've lost to 5 quality opponents. So it goes to show that you schedule real well in the early season, and I think that's really paid off in the end here for the playoffs.
Big bucket there. Now St. Thomas threatening to go up by 50 in this ball game. They are up 66-18. Jose Becerra, principal here at St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Hammond, is joining us now. We'll have the boys game versus Doyle for you later in the week also. Principal Becerra, a big time here at St. Thomas Aquinas, coming off another good football season, but also the extracurricular activities. As I was looking here at the list, I understand that the dance team did extremely well, placing among the nation's elite.
Every year they really have a shot to be in the top 10. This year they were excellent. They were 8th in jazz and 3rd in hip-hop, and they were outstanding. We were very close to winning the thing this year, and every year I'm just amazed at how well they do and how much time they put in.
Principal Becerra, when you look at these ball clubs, what Coach White has done on the gridiron and with this ladies basketball team, every year this is a program. And when you have a program, players come in, you get the maximum potential, they go, but it's that program that stands out. That's what he has. And such Coach Earl Goff. I mean, when you look at across the landscape of high school basketball in the state of Louisiana, you can go back to the 90s, and Coach Goff has had this program, and now it's at an elite level, at an all-time high. And every year when you get to this point in time, late February, early March, both Falcon clubs are competing at a high level. That's evident by both of them garnering very high seeds.
I'll tell you what, Deke, these two guys, Coach White and Coach Goff, do an excellent job. I would put them up against anybody in the state, and I know all principals want to say that, but I really feel that way. These guys have built a great program, both boys and girls. They work real hard over the summer with their summer ball teams, and they really just put a lot of time and effort in. Kids really respond to them.
St. Thomas continuing to play well, up 46 points here, 66-20 with 6:13 left to play in this contest. On the floor right now, we're seeing number 5, Reagan Bolton. Also, we're seeing number 12, Allie Belaires, a 5'4" freshman. Also, Courtney Dawsey, another freshman. we're seeing number 11, Jada Richard, and number 4, Portia Walker. So with all the senior experience, like I was saying earlier, Mr. Becerra, this is the first, this is actually second girls basketball game I've seen this season, and you really don't have to know teams. You could be from somewhere else, and when you see freshmen come into a ball game in the early moments, that tells you a lot about the makeup of a team. And Coach White, he digs deep into his bench.
Yes, and if you can see out there's no seniors. You got 3 freshmen, a sophomore, and a junior. So you're looking at next year's team probably right there, with the exception of a couple of young ladies on the bench. These girls are just they play lights out, Deke. They go from the first tip off until the final whistle.
Mr. Becerra, also this time, St. Thomas has come extremely well with their track and field programs and baseball. So a very busy time when you incorporate all the extracurricular activities. And I heard you talking in the office that the won't be long this senior class. It'll be time for them to graduate, and this school year is certainly exasperating.
Absolutely. This is a great class. I'm really proud of the leadership and the accomplishments. And, we always work around athletics because it's the most visible part of your school. But this past Saturday, we had a group of students who went to the robotics competition in New Orleans. Top 4, they made it to the semifinals. First time we've ever had a robotics group at our school.
Yeah, now it was 40 schools, I believe it was there. So to finish in the top 4, that would be the semifinals. Very impressive. Now, Principal Becerra, for those out there that are watching and listening and trying to decide whether their children should go to high school, what message would you convey to them on giving St. Thomas Aquinas an opportunity?
The one thing I tell everybody, Deke, is that we do what we do well, and I can really, at the end of the day, really rest easy knowing that we give these kids a well-rounded education. I know all schools have great spots, and they have ups and downs, but I can safely say at St. Thomas Aquinas, it's a great place for our children to grow and to become better acquainted with God, which is our primary focus, to develop that relationship with Christ, but more importantly, to even go beyond that and let them develop as young people so they can go out and be great members of our community.
Principal at St. Thomas Aquinas High School, Jose Becerra. Mr. Becerra, it's always a pleasure to be on campus, and looking forward to being here again for the boys game tomorrow.
Thank you, Deke, and we're looking forward to having you guys. Thanks a lot for all y'all do.
All right, that's Principal at St. Thomas Aquinas High School, Jose Becerra. Squeezing in a nice little chat with him in between the Lady Falcons maintaining a large lead. It is 68-23. A lot of youngsters on the floor for St. Thomas, and Coach White, now you're starting to see this ball club kind of use the clock more so now with protecting a very comfortable lead, with Reagan Bolton passing the basketball out to Allie Belaires. Now they're going to kind of use some clock. Shots off the mark, and a rebound by Lake Providence. Set to check in. It's going to be Aspen Troxclair, a 5'7" sophomore. So you're seeing the future stars on the floor for the Lady Falcons right now. Now we are going to see Aspen Troxclair, the 5'7" sophomore, check in. So Troxclair, Bolton, Walker, Dawsey, and Allie Belaires on the floor for the Lady Falcons. 2:50 left in this third period. Nice inside ball movement. Good assist that time. Portia Walker over to Reagan Bolton, who knows what to do with it. And now a 37-point lead for STA. Missing a shot right there. And it is going to be Dawsey. Dawsey has a shot blocked. Now she'll kind of settle back down, regroup, and reset. Number 11 checking back in, Jada Richard. Probably seen the end of the starters tonight, who came off with a nice job. First half front line, great job that time by St. Thomas. When you look at the averages, Amber Donez is averaging 19. She had 13 in the first half. Courtney Dawsey had 6 in the first half. She's averaging 4 points. Megan Gamble, right around her average. She had 5 points at the half. Richard had 6. Allie Seal, who's averaging 10 on the season, had 14 in the first half alone. Carly Keller, right at her average. She averages 16, and she had 15. Ball out of bounds over to STA. 70-23 with 1:53 remaining. The winner tonight, which will be St. Thomas, moves on to face Homer or Pine. If Homer wins, they would come to St. Thomas later this week. If it's Pine, which if you look at the way the brackets are set up, that's probably a game Coach White, he would like to travel to, because you travel to a team that you play in your district. You go ahead and get your travel out the way, and the likelihood of you having the third round game at home is almost 100%. In that third round, you win that one, then you move on to the semifinals, and then on to the state championship, where many feel this St. Thomas team, and you look by the seed, they are favored. Other teams in their bracket to keep an eye on is 10th seeded Riverside and 7th seed North Caddo, the highest remaining seed other than St. Thomas on the bottom half of the bracket is number 3, Pickering. Another substitution getting set to come in just a few moments. So St. Thomas has committed 5 team fouls. And this second half to 2 of Lake Providence. Shot is up and off the mark with $1:27 remaining. Once again, thanks to all of tonight's sponsors, including PJ's Coffee, with 3 great locations, Thomas Street, University Avenue, and then the North Oaks Hospital. A great way to wake up. Breakfast sandwiches. Grab your Go Po' Boys made with homemade French bread. Shishasi ham or turkey and cheese. Sandwiches are great and are heated in the oven just for you. Fresh egg salad sandwiches. Much more than coffee. It's PJ's Coffee. Thanks so much to Mr. Robbie and Miss Donna Miller for being a part of tonight's broadcast. Shot off the mark that time by Bolton. Under a minute left to play. Also thanks to Mr. Mike Rocker and everybody over at H. Rocker Electric. It's a family business. They've been in the Gulf South, folks. If you want somebody that's trusted and looking at consistency and longevity, they've been doing it since 1946 as a commercial, industrial, and oil and gas electrical contractor. The Rocker family, proud supporters of St. Thomas Aquinas basketball. 43 seconds left. St. Thomas 70. Lake Providence 26. And Coach White been able to use all of his players this evening. He and assistant coach Melanie Kramer, and of course Principal Jose Becerra. Pass over to the wing. Now giving back up to Dawson, who's been very impressive tonight. Ball fake right there. Good shot going to the rack. Nice way to create a shot. Although the shot was no good, drawing that attention and getting to the free throw line. It doesn't matter how you get 2, as long as you get them. And a good job that time by Portia Walker, the 5'3" junior, creating a shot and now attempting 2 at the free throw line. That's the 3rd team foul committed by Lake Providence. Nice job by Walker, knocking it down good. Thanks again to Spoga Fitness of Hammond, the Tobler Company, Tangipahoa Parish Assessor Junior Matthew, CI Sports, and Florida Parish Bank, the bank that Deke uses. 22 seconds left here in this third. St. Thomas has been using their reserve players this entire third quarter. And this is valuable when you're talking about building a program that has been on the winning side of lopsided victories in district play, a program that is 17-1 against 2A schools, the classification that they're in, and a program that is 14-0 in district. To have freshmen, sophomore, and junior players play that amount of minutes and to play basically the majority of a playoff game, that's so valuable when moving forward. 3 ball. And that is the end of the third. We've come to the 4th and final stanza. It's St. Thomas 72, Lake Providence 30. The final quarter next here with high school basketball. All right, fourth and the final quarter starting here is Coach John White uses the youth movement on the floor. Number 3, Courtney Dawsey. Number 12, Allie Belaires. Number 5, Reagan Bolton. Also, number 4, Portia Walker. And number 11, Jada Richard. These are the future stars of tomorrow, but getting a lot of valuable minutes today in a playoff game. 7:35 left. It's St. Thomas comfortably ahead by 42 points, 72-30. They'll play Thursday either against Homer or Pine. If it's Homer, it's here at St. Thomas on the campus of STA. If it's Pine, it'll be out just on the outskirts of Franklinton at Pine High School, home of the Lady Raiders. And when you look at this roster of St. Thomas Aquinas, salute some of the older players who have gotten a pretty much rest since the first half. Amber Donez, a 4-year letterman, on her way to play for the McNeese State Lady Cowgirls. Signed that scholarship, first team All-State last year. Well on her way to making that. She was a member of the East Squad, All-Star game this season, and one of the most competitive players in Class 2A and in this state of high school women's basketball. Also, Addie Schaefer, who's had a nice game tonight. In the post, the 5'8 senior, averaging 8 points a game. Forced a lot of turnovers in this first half. Does a great job. And one of the best big man or big women passers you will see. Did an excellent job handing the ball off, passing it off. And that'll be key down the stretch when you're moving into the third, fourth, and hopefully the state championship round. They will need everybody to be on top of their game. Also, Carly Keller did a good job of shooting the basketball tonight, draining a couple of threes, wound up with 15 points on a 16-point average. She will play for the Delta State Lady Statesmen up in North Mississippi, another scholarship player. Allie Seal did a good job tonight in the post. All on the glass, leading rebounder and a good ball handler. So congratulations to them as they move on to scholarships. And, of course, the remaining players still with opportunities to move on. And a lot of these young ladies participate not just in basketball, but track and field, cross country, dance, team, cheerleaders, good activities. Shot up and good. Coach White won't be happy about the left open, wide open player. And that's how you are able to keep a program. You coach until the very end. You look at it home at TV, you see a team up by 42 points. But the reason why they're up and why they have so many young players that are on the floor doing well right now is because Coach White coaches to the very end. Thanks again to Tangipahoa Parish Sheriffs Daniel Edwards, Bill Hood Ford and Hammond, Hood Automotive, everything automotive under one hood. Attorney at law, Richard McShann. If you want good eyes and have your eyes checked, Dr. Michael Fagioni. Also, CI Sports, the Tobler Company, Spoga Fitness, Tangipahoa Parish Assessor Junior Matthew, and State Representative for the 72nd District, John Bell Edwards. Here's a steal in the pass in the open floor, 3-on-1 break. They give over on the side. The shot is up and good. And that is Reagan Bolton. St. Thomas back up by 44, 5 minutes left. And the Lady Falcons once again moving on to the second round. Here's another steal. Richard, the give and go, off the mark, no good. Just a little too much by Dawsey that time. But Dawsey atoning for that mistake right there. Coming up with a loose ball. Now there's a scramble for it. And the official's going to say foul on St. Thomas. And looks like now the Lady Lake Providence team will be in the 1-and-1 situation, and they will. So tomorrow night it'll be Doyle taking on St. Thomas. We'll have men's basketball for you. Coach Errol Goff jammed up with a lot of powerful teams in Class 2A. Where that bracket, many feel Riverside can get that title. You got Riverside up there and 3 teams from that New Orleans district. It is a monster district. Newman, Riverside, and John Curtis. Whew, that's as tough as a district as you'll see. One of those teams, or several of those teams in St. Thomas, looking like the favorites in Class 2A to get the furthest in the 2A men's basketball bracket. Open on the wing. Nice shot That's 11 with the 3 ball. Give it up for Jada Richard, the sophomore forward, showing the range from behind the arc. 78-33. The Lady Falcons on top. And I'm sure Coach Theodore Lane of Lake Providence is letting a lot of his players get in on the action tonight as well. Well, just like scoring in basketball, it's important to have options. And when it comes to orthopedics and sports medicine, the best option is Dr. Brent Chasson and Cypress Point Surgical Hospital. Dr. Chasson has experience and knowledge. Let him handle all of your orthopedic and sports medicine problems. All you old athletes out there who are still young athletes at heart and athletes in action now, Dr. Chasson can get you off the bench and back into the game. He's the only orthopedic surgeon in the area with privileges at Cypress Point and all of the hospitals. You have options, so keep your options open. Dr. Chasson and Cypress Point Surgical Hospital, a great team. 78-33, St. Thomas on top. Impressive opening round game for the Lady Falcons. There's a 3 ball by Lake Providence. It's no good. Out to Dawsey. Dawsey's going to the rack. No good. A little help there behind her. Picking up that loose ball is Allie Belaires. So now, kick back out to Dawsey again. Still no good. Off the mark. Loose ball. Look at St. Thomas just getting every loose ball tonight, seemingly. Well on the sharp side of the turnover margin. Although uncharacteristically in the first quarter, they had about 4 unforced turnovers. And now Coach White is adding a few more players onto the floor. Ty Lynn Guidry will check in. Also number 30, a 5'3" freshman, Abby Goday. And number 32, a 5'7" sophomore, Aspen Troxclair. So they're going to play about 3.5 minutes. And to be a freshman and play 3.5 minutes in a playoff game, that's impressive. First shot is good, 78-34. St. Thomas moving on to the second round. Shot is good. Lake Providence now with 35 points, just under 3:20 remaining in the contest. Dawsey to the rack, out of control, loose ball there, and that will come with maturity. You can certainly see that when she checked into the game early in this contest, Dawsey and also Richard, 2 of the first players to check in that were not starters, you can see the skill, you can see the athleticism. And as they hone in on their skills and become more oriented with what Coach White wants to do, I can see this team competing at a high level for district and state championships for quite a while. Shots off the mark, no good. Rebound by Lake Providence. And a nice job that time. Bolton, I've counted 3 steals she has come up with tonight. Unofficial. Allie Belaires will check in. And Courtney Dawsey will get a breather. So Belaires in on the floor along with Aspen Troxclair. Also, Tylynn Guidry, Abby Goday for the Lady Falcons. Eating some clock here. On this left wing is Goday. Now that's going to be an over and back. And Lake Providence gets the basketball. 2:15 remaining. Following the game, we'll give you the top scorers of tonight's contest and hear from St. Thomas coach John White. And Ms. Michelle, who was here at St. Thomas Aquinas in the principal's office, now says that STA is now accepting applications for the incoming 9th grade students for the 2013-14 school year. Please visit the STA website for an application. Under 2 minutes left. Lady Falcons will improve to 26-5 on the season. And the only team they lost to in Class 2A which many feel could be a rematch for the 2A state championship. They lost to U-High earlier this season, the number 1 ranked team and the number 1 seed in 2A, 52-49. Reagan Bolton with the 3 ball. 81-37, the Lady Falcons. Shots off the mark, Bolton with the rebound. Now going the length of the floor, all the way to the rack. And she's fouled, but she will go to the line to shoot 2. Now with an opportunity to score the last 5 after that 3 ball. 103 left to play. Again, thanks so much to Mr. Jeff Day and everybody over at Spoga Fitness. Over 20 years of training experience. A way for you to get in shape. I was at Spoga today. We're talking to him about after March. I'm going in and getting with Mr. Day on a program. He's had people he's trained to go on and be All-Americans in football, go on to play professional football, become national champions, golf champions, and so much more. Not only working out and fitness, but mental coaching, managing stress, and nutritional success. All of that is available and so much more at Spoga Fitness in Hammond. Under 50 seconds left to play. Lake Providence with a bucket there to cut this from the 82-39. And now St. Thomas can probably just work on down for one final shot. Tied up over in the corner. Number 40, Ty Lynn Guidry, a 5'7" sophomore. So everyone tonight saw some good action for the Lady Falcons. No starters in this second half. They'll be well rested Thursday night to face either Homer or Pine, Amber Donez, Meg Gamble, Allie Seal, Carly Keller, and Addie Schaefer. Coach White structure his plan. He likes to come in with 8 to 10 players in the first half, in which he did, and press teams throughout the contest. Loose ball picked up by the Lady Falcons. Nice pass, Bolton with a shot off the glass and good. Impressive performance tonight by Reagan Bolton on both ends of the court. She's forced some turnovers, created her own shots, got a shot off the dribble, layups, and a 3 ball moments ago in this fourth quarter. 10 seconds left to play. St. Thomas will improve to 26-5 on the season, but more importantly, advance to the second round in the Class 2A state playoff bracket. And that is it. It's a final. The STA Lady Falcons 85, Lake Providence 39. We'll take a timeout, come back, hear from Coach John White, and wrap it up. St. Thomas Aquinas Lady Falcon basketball continues right here. And welcome back. It's the final score here from the STA Gymnasium. With us, STA Lady Falcons coach John White, 85-39. Coach White, and it didn't take you long to dig into your bench. You said your goal is to press. We were able to do that quickly, getting off the score. And I counted early in the ball game in the first quarter, you had already went into 8 players. Yeah,
we play 8 to 10 players first quarter. We like running, pushing good tempo. That's our style of basketball. We don't want to get caught in a half-court game. We was able to execute that tonight real well.
You got ahead early in this contest, Coach, but really you could have been up a little bit more. I saw you talking to your girls on this end when you had a couple of turnovers you had forced, a couple of unforced turnovers on your area, and I know you kind of mentally preached to them, look, when you get in that third and fourth round, those are the types of things you have to have.
Right, we preach that no matter what the score is. And the thing that concerns me in play all the time, the thing I preached tonight before the game was foul trouble. Let's don't commit fouls. We need girls on the court, not on the bench. And we did well tonight with that. Nobody got in serious foul trouble. And that's important play all the time. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Coach, when you look over the long haul, the landscape of a playoff, and you can have your starters rest in a half, how does that weigh in when you're moving down the line for them to get that type of rest this late in the season?
It's got to help, fresher legs, confidence level. We're up big enough where the stars don't play the second half. It definitely helps the team confidence, Look, I don't want close games.
Right.
I want easy wins. That's every coach's dream, and we got that tonight. But, I mean, our confidence level is real good right now.
Yeah. And finally, Coach White, you have gotten this program with the help of the great support you have and the players that come in and out to a level to where as if you don't have one of those pictures with that state, on it with that championship, it's kind of a downtrodden for you because you look at it and you say, well, we've accomplished a lot, but this program is at a level where you expect to win the championship every year.
Yes, expectations are high right here, and that's good to have. That's where you want to work at. That's where you want to coach at. That's where you want to play at. And that's our goal every year, win state championship. And also our goal is also get better, become a better basketball player, a better person. And, we've been continuing to do that year in, year out. But this year, like I said, expectations are high. We're trying to get a state championship.
Coach John White and the STA Lady Falcons, 85-39 victors over Lake Providence, on to the second round. Coach White, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, be sure to tune in to us next time as we'll have Coach Earl Goff and the Falcons as they take on Doyle in high school basketball. Thanks so much to all of our wonderful sponsors who are with us on tonight's broadcast and also tomorrow night as well. For Butch Lee, that signature wave, I'm Deke Bellavia. Final score, St. Thomas 85, Lake Providence 39. You've been watching high school basketball